Hey, what's up, family? Yo, excellent one for y'all today. Now, this video is going to be dealing with boxing, but it's going to be dealing with you. It's going to be dealing with any and everyone out there. It's going to be dealing with reputation. So therefore, I'm going to title this from one of my favorite chapters in the 48 Laws of Power book, where it's called Reputation is Everything, Guard It With Your Life. Now think about it. When I say reputation, what type of reputation do you have, rather as an individual or a company? Some companies got good reputations, some got bad reputations, right? So what kind of reputation do you have? Such as, do you got a good one or bad one? Are you known for gossiping, getting stuff started, backstabbing somebody, using people, not a person of integrity, your word means nothing? See, that's a bad reputation. Or do you have a good reputation, whereas the moment someone mentions your name or your company, it's with respect? As soon as they hear your name, they say, "Oh, you talking about such and such? Oh, nah, he good. You can trust that person." Or you talking about that such and such company? Yo, or that mechanic or whatever the case. Oh, nah, he do solid work. That joker good. Yo, trust me, I use him. See, that's a good reputation. So what type of reputation you got? Now, there's a reason I got this boxing stuff here. I like boxing. I'm going to talk about 3 of my favorite boxers. Although there's many, I'm going to talk about 3 of them dealing with reputation. Now, this doesn't matter if you're into boxing or not. When I tell you these 3 stories, it's going to resonate with you. You're going to be familiarized with it. And you're going to familiarize it with you to some degree. Watch when I go into it. But before I get into those 3 boxers, because it's going to be Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Bernard Hopkins. But before I get into that, let me tell you a historical story dealing with reputation that's going to touch on those 3 boxers. All right, now this is dealing with a warrior way back in the days, AD, let's say, around the time of 207 to 265 AD, over in Asia, a Chinese leader by the name of Liang, what's his name? His name was Chuko Liang. Pardon me if I'm messing up the name. Chuko Liang.
No,
right?
you're right.
He was also nicknamed the Sleeping Dragon. It's the reason why they call him the Sleeping Dragon. It's almost like that saying when you hear people say, "Don't poke the bear," or don't mess with a sleeping lion. See, you think because that lion is sleeping that he's harmless. Yo, keep messing with him. You're going to see, he's going to wake up and going to be like, and that's when you're going to see the real fear, the real violence come up out of him. But anyway, this leader was called Chuko Liang, aka the Sleeping Dragon. Now, although it's a long story, I'm going to give you the short version. This leader was known for defeating his enemies time in and time in again. Even when he was faced with imminent, sure defeat, somehow he always beat people because he always had a spy, or he had double agent spies, or somehow he found out information about the other person, somehow, or he did some type of deceptive thing. He always had a trick up his sleeve, and he was renowned for this. And as always, I love to give y'all a word of the day. So that's going to be the word of the day. Renowned. If you look up the word renowned, it means to be widely talked about or famous for something. Like you say, man, he's renowned for doing that. He's known for doing that. He's famous for doing that. Renowned. So anyway, the Sleeping Dragon, Chuko Liang, like I said, it didn't matter what war he was in, he always defeated his enemies. Even when it seemed like he could no way possibly win, somehow he got to win. So now, all throughout the land, he was renowned for being called the Sleeping Dragon, because he always won that war, even when it seemed like he was gonna lose or quiet and docile. Somehow, he came out vicious and won. Interesting story, right? True story, right? Now check this out. Speaking of the Sleeping Dragon, I gotta finish the story. So anyway, one day there was another leader who was gonna fight the Sleeping Dragon. And just so happens, while the Sleeping Dragon, him and only 100 of his men was at another location, war was over. But what he didn't know, it was another leader coming to fight him. This other leader had 150,000 soldiers. And the Sleeping Dragon, he only had 100. There's no way possible he could have won this war. But remember, we're talking about the Sleeping Dragon. So anyway, when word got back to the Sleeping Dragon that these troops was coming, right away he went into action. Remember, he's called the sleeping dragon. He told all his soldiers, there was only 100 of them. There's no way possible you're going to beat 150,000 men. So he told all his 100 soldiers to go into hiding and don't come out, don't make a noise, nothing. And he himself, he went up on the top of the castle where he was at by the gates, where these 150,000 soldiers could clearly see him. He put on his robe and he was playing the drum and just sat there quietly. And when the other soldiers came, their leader came right up to him. He looked around, and in his mind, he's like, we about to destroy him. But he also knew, wait a minute, this is Chuko Liang. He's the sleeping dragon. I think this is a trick. I think it's a trick. He got something up his sleeve. He's always got something up his sleeve. But for just a brief moment, he thought, nah, I think he's all alone. I think I could beat him. But no, he's renowned for fooling people and tricking them. Retreat! Retreat! And just like that, because of Sleeping Dragon's renowned reputation for being called the Sleeping Dragon and winning wars even when it looked like he couldn't, he had a reputation for that. Just like that, he fooled. His reputation, as the saying goes, your reputation precedes you. His reputation was so big that this leader had no clue. You could have destroyed him that day, but you was basing everything on his past reputation of how renowned it was, how people always spoke highly and so infamous of the things he'd done in the past. You get what I'm saying? So now, that story, that historical story, gonna touch into, as I said, 3 of my favorite boxes. Number 1, we're gonna go with the first one. The first one is Muhammad Ali. Now, remember, the word of the day is renowned. What was Muhammad Ali renowned for? Of course, boxing, but Muhammad Ali was also renowned for talking
his mouth
junk all the time. How is it that this man talked so much junk that he pissed people off, rather they was fans of his or not? They wanted to see him fight. They wanted to see him win, and then you even had people that didn't like him. They would pay because they wanted to see him lose, because they said he's so renowned for running his mouth. Always running his mouth. They was so mad, right? So remember, Muhammad Ali used to talk so much junk. He used to even say in some of his fights when he was going to knock a fighter out. Now, who could do that? Like and then he'd be rhyming about it. He'd be like, I'm telling you, in this fight, it's going to be renowned that I'm going to knock this guy down and round number 9 or whatever. He will always say these things that will piss people off. Like, if it's up to you, I'm going to knock him out in round 2. You know, I'm making up stuff, but he was renowned for that. Muhammad Ali knew how to get up under people's skin and just, I'm going to talk so much junk. I'm going to piss you off, but I'm going to make you a fan. Like, I used to love his statement. He used to say, I'm going to show you just how great I am. I love that statement. I'm going to show you just how great I am. Right? So anyway, that's Muhammad Ali. Next fighter. Talking about renown. Remember, word of the day. Infamous. Known for. People talk about so much. Mike Tyson. Remember how Mike Tyson was another one. He used to talk so much junk. But not only that, he backed it up, just like Muhammad Ali. Remember, Mike Tyson used to say stuff like, I fight anyone. Nobody could beat me. Not present. He said, I remember that one time he said, not past, present, or future. He said, nobody could beat me. Nobody could beat me. I'll fight you in the backyard. Nobody could beat me. Right? He used to always talk all that junk, right? Mike Tyson, one of the first fighters I seen knock somebody out with body punches, like make the person curl up to a baby. You know what I'm saying? So my point with his reputation, just like Muhammad Ali, he was so renowned for knocking people out that he was scaring them. You had people that was fighting Mike Tyson when he was on the top of his game. Before the fight even started, the fight was over because of his past reputation of how the people spoke about him, so renownedly spoke about him, that you will see fighters get in the ring and the whole time they doing more running than fighting because of his reputation of knocking people out, his reputation of breaking people's jaws, his reputation for breaking their ribs, and all kind of stuff. He had a reputation for straight up destroying people. You You know what I'm saying? Look how all balanced I was. He had a reputation for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I say Bernard Hopkins for last. It ain't that he's the best boxer, but it was what he did that made it so renowned. Now you gotta remember, I don't care if you're talking about UFC fighters or whatever, you got some fighters that know how to sell tickets because they talk junk and they put on tactics. They put on certain displays to get the attention of people. And I remember, like I said, UFC fighters do it too, some good, some are not. I'll give you a prime example of some that's not. Let's take Evander Holyfield. Great boxer, but he never quite talked junk and made people more interested other than people that just was into boxing already. Hence, Bernard Hopkins. Let me prove my point. Bernard Hopkins, known for beating jokers up, knocking them out, tearing them up, right? But, I remember when Bernard Hopkins, I remember when he had that fight against Felix Trinidad. Remember that, people out there? Remember that? Felix Trinidad, he was Puerto Rican. Remember, but you know, our complexion, our people, whatever, right? When Bernard Hopkins had that fight with Felix Trinidad, he put on a show. He was over there in Puerto Rico. Now remember, this video is about reputation, guard it with your life. Your reputation will make people honor you more, dislike you, or whatever. And in boxing cases, sometimes you could get your reputation so high up or get people so pissed that they'll pay for you even though they don't like you. And that's what Bernard Hopkins did when he fought Felix Trinidad. When he went over to Puerto Rico, him and Felix was going back and forth arguing about, man, I'm gonna do this to you, man, I'm gonna do that to you, and whatever, right? But then Bernard took it to a step more of being disrespectful. Remember, when Trinidad raised up his Puerto Rican flag, Bernard Hopkins took the flag and said, man, what? And he ripped it and he stepped on it. He said, man, F Puerto Rico, man, forget y'all, right?
Now, see, he was going overboard with that.
He did.
Come on, really. That's total disrespect.
But when he did that,
Oh,
the whole crowd of Puerto Rico, they like tried to storm on him for real. All he was doing was putting on display to sell tickets. But he didn't realize, man, you made them people mad.
So,
and yo, they had to chase him out of that place that he was at. Yo, he had to run back to the airport. And even at the airport, people at the airport was like, nah, man, kill that joker. Kill him, man. They was mad. He was mad that this guy, you gonna come to our country, you gonna disrespect us, and you gonna disrespect our flag. So they was. Now my point with that, with reputation, was you had everybody that was into the boxing or into watching boxing, they couldn't wait for that fight. They banked all their money on Trinidad, Puerto Ricans, because they wanted him to destroy Bernard Hopkins. You had even old ladies, abuela, that don't know nothing about boxing, but because of the reputation that Bernard Hopkins did and what that disrespectful thing he did, that put a bad reputation on him, so they looked at it as. And they was like, man, so like I said, even old ladies or people that didn't know nothing about boxing, they paid for that event that night because they couldn't wait. They said, man, Trinidad's going to destroy him. I can't wait. I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay my money. I'm going to pay. I can't wait. And you go, look at this. Bernard did an excellent job. See the reputation he built up for that fight? Because it's like, I don't care if you love me or you hate me, you're going to pay for me. And that's what he did. And that's what I'm talking about reputation. So what type of reputation you got? Do you got a good one? You got a bad one? You ain't known for nothing but negative crap? And that's why people stay away from you? Or do you got a good reputation? Like I said, I love it when people mention my name. It comes with respect.
But
they know they can trust on me. They know it comes with integrity. What type of reputation you have?
But wait a minute. In the end, with Bernard Hopkins, did he apologize to Puerto Rico?
So anyway, back to the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Bernard Hopkins whipped Trinidad, but because he exposed Trinidad that he was always cheating, he was double lacing his gloves, making them harder. And I remember Jockey found that out later. After Bernard exposed him, he said that's why he been tearing people up. He been cheating all this time. He been lacing his gloves illegally.
See, that I didn't know.
Yeah, and then when Jockey found, even Jockey said, yo, man, I knew it was something, man. That guy, when he was hitting me, it felt like cement blocks. It wasn't right. But that was years ago. But yo, unfortunately, Trinidad lost that fight. And even after fights, after it was all over, Bernard Hopkins apologized. Like you said, man, I was just selling tickets. That's all it was. I had to build up the reputation of the fight. Get people interested. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he did
like Apollo Creed.
He did a remarkable job in order to get under people's skin.
He did an excellent job.
Oh,
like I said, reputation. What's your reputation like? What's your company reputation like? But you personally, what's your reputation like? So think about it. I did an old video back in the days called Money and Vices That Make You Broke. And at the end of that video, I talked about it's going to come a time where the money that's in your pocket, the fiat money, is going to be no longer important. Money going to be based on you. So if you are known for being a liar, a cheat, a stealer, a backstabber, you are worthless. But if you have a reputation of being integrity, a person of integrity, responsibility, a person people can trust, rely on, you're worth gold. You're worth your weight in gold. Build that type of reputation. And on that note, peace.